103.1 Unilag FM, and this is Girlfriends on Radio.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello, so I'm Taiwo.
And it's Anu.
Shay.
And Ngozi is here in spirit of the same action.
Yeah.
Alright guys, this is Girlfriends on Radio, and once again you've come to a place where ladies just come together and discuss about life, discuss about anything we find, that catches our fancy, and just talk, This is 103.1 Unilag FM, and you're on to Girlfriends on Radio.
Yep. And basically we're talking about issues that affect us as ladies, as women, as
Human
beings. And if you want to be part of the discussion, all you need to do is send us a text message, no calling, no flashing, to this number 081-8104-8542. I'll take that again. That's 081-8104-8542.
Okay, please send in your text and do not call. The topic of discussion today is
Girl power!
Gang gang.
You know the image that came to my mind?
What?
It's a cartoon called Powerpuff Girls.
Yes! I thought about that when I thought about it too.
Yeah, and that cartoon is not just like a cartoon just for the sake of entertainment. It's actually like part of a whole movement that has been, that has been in the world for some time now. The female empowerment movement, and they want to catch them young, like let little girls know that look, you have the power, and that's why they have those 2-3 little babies, having superpowers and all that. And well, that's what we're talking about today. So, what is girl power?
Well, I found it very interesting when I looked up the phrase girl power, and it's been around for a while, and it was actually made popular by pop bands, girl pop bands and all that, but it was actually really made very, very popular by the Spice Girls in the 90s.
Yeah.
And they said it meant unity, getting what they want, and just generally progress and all that. And girl power is about making progress, about doing what you want, about getting things done, and about just being a successful woman, really.
Yeah, in whatever you do. And then I keep hearing that it's a man's world, it's a man's
But
world.
it is.
It's a man's world. And so when you find the phrase, it's girl power in a man's world, what do we make of it? And it's very interesting, that we're talking about this today, because we are Nigerians, and I know I'm speaking as a Nigerian now, not as an African, because I've never lived in any other African country. But many Nigerian men, really take that phrase, it's a man's world, they carry it on their head. And so when a woman comes out on top, she's probably a boss, or she's earning well in a marriage, sometimes I think the success of a woman would threaten a man who is not really secure in himself. And they will tell you that it's not as if they're threatened, they just want a woman who is submissive. So can a woman be successful and be submissive at the same time? And where does girl power come into play in all of this?
Well, I feel yes, definitely. You being submissive is, I think, a character trait. So either whether you're successful or not, you could that's just who you are. You're someone who, is submissive. You're not the overbearing kind of person. Well, but I feel that the whole girl power thing, it's actually arose out of a need, because obviously we know that for centuries females have been subjected to that inferior role, and with the rise of education and everything, women, okay, let's take our power back, and we're trying to take the world from the men. And even if they have that notion that it's still a man's world, a guy would tell you it's a man's world, his guy is a woman. The 3 guys on top of him are women, and he'll be saying it's a man's world, So I feel that where we draw the line between, okay, letting it get to us, and that's where the not being submissive or whatever comes from, is that we don't have a point to prove that, okay, we are powerful just for the sake of being powerful. Look at me here. We're just saying that, look, don't hold us back. We have so much potential inside of us, and just because of our gender, that doesn't mean that we don't have the right to show that potential and to maximize it and to be whoever we can be.
Okay, Shay, do you agree?
Yes, I agree that we have the same right as every other person on this planet to fulfill our potential as whether you're a man or a
Or a
woman,
woman,
but
yeah.
especially as women, because we have the cards are slightly stacked against us. But the basic thing is that it's possible for you to be all you want to be in this man's world. And anyway, I prefer being a woman in a man's world. Anyway, it's more fun. You wear more clothes. You have more variety in every form. But the basic thing is that you actually have to prove yourself at every point in time to not just the men, but to other women as well. You actually have to prove yourself that I can do it. I'm not an airhead. I'm not just the stilettos you see walking around and all that. But women have successfully shown over in different generations. They have actually proven and shown that. Moremi was a warrior. There's one
Queen
female,
Amina.
Queen Amina.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we have people like Pelosi. We have people like so many
Elizabeth.
successful,
Yeah.
and then we have
Even
Queen Elizabeth.
Ellen,
Yes.
Salif Johnson in
Yes,
Liberia.
Yes, and then we have the Argentina president.
But
Yeah.
she's
Yes,
not
then we
there.
have Angela Merkel.
Yeah, Germany. Yeah.
Yes, we have the late Baroness Margaret Thatcher and all that. And we're not. Well, that's even politics and that's international. If we even bring it down to the successful female businessmen and business women here. We'll talk about Mrs. Alakija.
Yeah, but I don't. Sorry to cut you off, but I don't even think that it's only in business endeavors
Nope.
that we are defined.
Nope.
You know, even as a housewife too. You know, but let's take a musical break, and when we come back, let's look at girl power from every aspect. You know, and every angle. All right, 103.1 FM. We're talking about what it means to, what girl power is and how that applies in this world of ours. And before we went on the musical break, we're talking about how feminism comes into this term, girl power. When we say feminism, everybody knows that we're talking about, women doing things for themselves without the need of a man. You don't need a man to survive as a woman, and they take it to the extreme. And what we are saying, what I am saying from my own point of view is, yes, I want a man in my life and I want to submit to him, but at the same time I want to be an individual and I want to stick out. I want to be successful in the things that I choose to do. I want to have goals and dreams and chase my career and be successful with the support of my husband, or the support of my man. But I don't want to be in a situation where everything I do is just to please a man. No, I want to please myself too. That's not feminism. That, I think, is girl power to me.
Well, yes, I have to agree. It is girl power, and I feel the feminism thing came out of, like I said before, it's like a reaction, and people have really taken it to the extreme. Because if you go through history and see what females have been subjected to, you understand why. But now the confusion is, okay, asserting myself as a woman who has her own dream and goals, where do I draw that line? Because like you said, so many women just take it to the extreme and say, okay, because I'm an independent woman, I don't need a man, I can do everything for myself and everything. So I know that a lot of people who find it hard to draw the line between, from that girl power and feminism, and they just get it.
Are they two different things, Shay?
They
Girl
are.
power and feminism, they're two different things.
They are.
How so?
For me, girl power is being empowered, is being self-disciplined. It's being knowing yourself and chasing your goals and going after it. And it's not that you're saying that you don't need a man's help, you don't need a man or whatever. No. Feminism says I don't need a man to do anything for me. I don't need a man to be successful and all that. For being girl power, you are empowering yourself, you're empowered, you are at peace with yourself, you know yourself, you are confident, you are courageous, you have plans, you have goals, and you go after them. And you're cooperating with other people, because feminism sometimes is just about, okay, I'm by myself, and I'm pushing and I'm forging ahead and all that.
Yeah, like I know made a statement, she said it's a reaction. But
Yes.
sometimes, and like I said, I think I won't say I'm totally against feminism, in the sense that I understand where women are coming from. Where you do something very great and you achieve something, and a man will say, oh, if you look deep within, it's somebody that helped her or is a sugar daddy somewhere, and they try to undermine your success every step of the way, you know. And it's very sad because it feels like we are hairheads, like you said, and we are not. So I understand when women decide, you know what, these men are undermining us too much. We are not going to go ahead with them, you know, leave it to them, and then they will just mess you up. So let us, as ourselves, as a species, you know, let's encourage ourselves and tell ourselves that yes, we need a man, but if those men are not coming true for us, then you don't need them to succeed. But as a Christian, right, I think I can understand that, especially like I can understand a woman saying, I'm done with a man, I want to move on with my life. It depends on that man, the man you're dealing with. If you have a godly man by your side, a man who's so great in every area, he would encourage you. He will not feel undermined by your success. He won't be threatened. He would love the fact that he has a successful wife by his side. But the never to do men, dual men who tell you, you know what, they try to talk you down once they see that you're going places or you're earning more than they are. If they're talking you down, then maybe you can be a feminist on that one. I'll let it go.
No, you know what?
At that point, you don't need any man making you feel stupid. And so many men do that to their wives once they see that their wives are going places and they don't want to move on.
There are challenges for everyone, but for women, it's more in every sphere because you have the child, you have to go back to work, and then you have a boss that may like you because you don't accede to his advances. You know, he tries to block you, and then you have some subordinate guys that are guys and they don't like it, and you know, they try to undermine you and undercut it. But basically, the ultimate empowered girl power is the virtuous woman, the Proverbs 31 woman and all that. I was reading it in the Amplified, and you know, it was talking about the words they use. She's courageous, she's meticulous, she's business minded, she plans ahead, her husband is proud of her, he looks to her, he's very confident in her, and you know, he's very confident in her, and he sticks by her, and she runs the household, and all he does is he goes outside and he's the man. And if he didn't have her, he wouldn't be the man. And then we have modern day examples like now Malala, the Pakistani girl that took a bullet in her head, and she's really a role model now, and you know, she's really making waves, and her father is there pushing her on and, you know, urging her on and encouraging her, and you know, he's there with her and all that, and her mom is there as well, and her brother. But you know, she said that you know, her father went on that show with Aman, and you know, he said that, you know, he's the one, he's there for her and all that. But the basic thing is that we have obstacles, and it's not just us, but like we said, for women, we have to surmount it and all that. But the basic thing is that you can do it, and we have done it, and people are still doing it. And but basically, you have to get to know yourself, you have to build your courage, and you have to go after it, and you have to know the fact that there are guys out there. They're the ones that will encourage you, the ones that are trying to pull you down, the ones that are trying to undermine you, and then there are the ones that will be like, they seem to be encouraging you, but they are not, and all that. But the thing is that you have to go on. You have to go on, and you have to push on. You have to push ahead.
Okay. Well, time is fast spent, but when we come back next week, I think let's ponder this. We're going to get different scenarios and try to go into it in different aspects. And we're not saying you should rebel. You know, girl power is not being rebellious. It's not about trying to prove a point to a man. But I also understand that there's so many people, so many women, you know, who have been in circumstances or who were raised in, you know, situations whereby they just feel like the only way they can forge ahead is to, you know, give in to the advances of men, and they don't know any other world, you know. And there's some people in marriages right now that, you know, it's fire on the mountain all the time, and you know that to wake up one morning and tell your husband, you know what, I want to take charge of who I am, you're gonna get a slap on your face. So this is it's a tricky topic, and just because we feel empowered doesn't mean that all is, you know, you have to be very sensitive about talking about these issues. So when we come back next week, we'll try as much as possible, you know, to highlight scenarios, and we might be talking about your scenarios, so you need to tune in next week, and then we'll try as much as possible to get down and not just stay on top and, you know, be on the surface. So we need to leave right now. Thank you for joining us once again, and next week we'll read your messages if you send them on time.
All right then, have a lovely week.
Bye
Bye guys.